If you haven't already heard, there's been a very big announcement on GO train expansion in the rail network, and that will benefit many different riders. Unfortunately, us in Milton will have to just go along with, yet again, no change. However, I mean, the expansion things listed are exciting. You know, they're talking about continuing on with their expansion of Lakeshore West and East, which is the bread and butter, the main line. They're talking about some expansion of the Kitner line, Barrie, and Stouffville. So the big ones that are left out on this are the Milton line and the Richmond Hill line. And they also have an announcement here about the continuing with the Bowmanville project, which is quite an expense too. They're talking about spending, I see, about $11 million here. I did get a little puzzled, however, as I read on in the article. Stephanie Davies, the Chief Capital Officer for GO Transit and Up Express at Metrolinx, was asked with regards to the Milton and Richmond Hill lines. This is what she had to say. Since the Milton and Richmond Hill corridors aren't owned by GO and share with freight trains, Davies said it's harder to overall service currently. I totally agree with that comment to an extent. However, I disagree with the fact that those are the only ones not wholly owned by GO. For instance, the line to Kitchener, it travels on the very busy York sub of the CN between Bramalea and Georgetown. It's busier than most CN lines, if not the busiest in the GTA. So I'm a little puzzled by that comment. The other expansion, or one of the other ones mentioned, is in Hamilton, which is also on CN. So there's a little bit of contradiction here, at least in my opinion, about that. The expansion to Bowmanville is also quite exciting, but it is a huge project. Basically, from around where the GM plant is in Oshawa, they're talking about building a bridge across the 401 at who knows what cost, and then running the line parallel to the Canadian Pacific to Bowmanville, which is about 18.7 kilometers. So I'm not sure if that's included in the 11 billion or not. I kind of doubt it. Now let's get back to Milton, which happens to be the place where I live, and I am a previous GO train rider, currently not, but I did used to take it daily. And so the big question is, whatever happened to the promise from our MPP, Parm Gill, promised all-day GO train service when he was about to be elected into office in 2018? Well, let me tell you, there's been absolutely nothing done in the Milton area to the GO train line since that time. No new parking, no new trains, and no all-day GO train service. Now, some of you might argue, well, what's the cost going to be? Because you're going to have to add at least one more track line onto the CP so they'll allow all-day GO train service. Well, it is definitely in the billions of dollars. There's no doubt about it. However, our Ontario government just recently spent $9 billion buying the Gardiner and Don Valley Parkway off of the City of Toronto, which the City of Toronto is very grateful about. But it just goes to show the money's there if they want to spend it. But for some reason, they don't want to spend it on the GO train riders from Milton, or the ones riding from Mississauga on that line as well. So for those of you riding on the Milton line, what can you do about it? Well, there is a petition off to Mr. Parm Gill, and it is online. It's an online petition, which I have filled out, and others have filled out as well. And I'll leave the link to that in the comment section of my video. Also in the comment section is the City News article that I was quoting earlier, plus the PowerPoint presentation showing the Bowmanville expansion, and on top of that, a GO train system map, in case you want to see where all the different places that the GO train currently services in the GTA. So hopefully someday the squeaky wheel will get the grease and we will see all-day GO train service to Milton.